welcome back to the Star Wars New Canon Book Club. It's time to talk Mandalorian season review. I'm really excited.
That's not a book.
Oh,
Got him.
It's a book of screenplay pages, if you think about it.
anyway, hi, it's Jesse, Alex, and Davis. We are back to talk about the goodness that is Clone Wars and its 8 episodes of Baby Yoda and the other characters. Did I say Clone Wars? Mandalorian is what I meant.
Which one did you watch first, Davis?
Before Rise of Skywalker, you mean?
You got back from your trip, and then you did what?
I watched episode 7 of Mandalorian, and then 8.
And this was before Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I did Rise of Skywalker later that day. People suggested to me, they were like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but watch Rise of Skywalker first, then watch The Mandalorian. And I understand, because, like, one's a pretty solid-ass little episode, and one's a trash fire of a movie. But I didn't want to wait. And I'm glad I didn't, because it was awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Now that you're back, I mean, give us your thoughts about the last 2 episodes. Now that we can chat.
Well, we talked about this episode 7 together, but it was cool. I really liked Moff Gideon. I think we were wondering, like, how much there is to him, and this episode, like, I was initially really bummed because Werner Herzog was like, I loved him, and every time he talked about, he was just like explaining a cool expanded universe stuff, and he just had like a gravitas to him, and so for him to get gunned down was like, damn it, I get it, you're trying to show us this guy's the real big bad. It's basic stuff, but I don't know, his like how methodical he was, the way he speaks, the fact that he has the fucking Darksaber. All right, this guy, I can't wait for season 2 time with him.
Herzog's character being dead, the finale itself, like, overcame that loss. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like more excited now than I was before, for sure.
Yeah. So I definitely, the only bummer lasted just because I liked him and he died, and then, but then the next episode, I'm like, okay, I'm already over it. And there's like a limited amounts of what that he can do anyways. Gideon is like a doer, whereas I don't think we really were expecting Werner Herzog to do any sort of choreography or any kind of battle. Like, I buy that Gus can be like a physical player. Like, he'll tussle with...
Dude, if they can make Mark Hamill, like, bend only at the knee and, like, spin around in a circle convincingly on film, like, they can do this.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was cool. There's some slight, not disappointment. We guess a lot of what's going to happen because this show is, like, I think we can all agree it's a lot simpler than we thought it was going to be.
Sure.
Like, it's pretty straightforward about... And we talked about how, they've hinted about that, the helmet can't come off. It's going to be a big deal when it, like, finally does. And I did feel like it was a little bit of a disappointment. I get why narratively it makes sense.
It was a good character moment for the Mando himself, yeah.
It's like growth for him. It ties into the whole his droid issue stuff. I don't know. I didn't think that it was quite that earned, because if we had like a season of adventures with him and, what's the droid? IG-11?
Yeah.
If it wasn't just he came back for one episode of being their friends, we would have really felt it. So I felt like you only get one time. You only get one chance through the first reveal, and it worked technically, but it wasn't. I thought it was going to be like a moment where we're going to be like, oh, damn.
I think for once, your, like, mind about technical consistencies was, like, adhered to here when it comes to IG-11, in that if IG-11 was present for the entirety of the season, there would have been no moment of fear or challenge presented to the Mandalorian at any point if IG-11 was present for any of the engagements that he was in before the last episode.
Right.
This is something I didn't really get into last time we talked about this, and I wonder what you think about it too, because it's something that people like don't typically enjoy in their Star Wars a lot of the time. Sometimes it's like one of the big things that people complain about with Star Wars, and I thought it was really neat that Taika Waititi got to direct this last episode, and as a result, he because it's like almost like a treat episode for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is like definitely like not the type of thing that somebody like Taika Waititi usually does, is like direct an action finale of a Star Wars. I was ready to take a 5-minute scene of the stormtroopers doing jokes. I was ready to take anime level robot flying around and making quips and being silly. I was ready to take like all these crazy things happening in this one episode, the gondola robot, just all this like goofy shit happening all at once.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I bought it because it felt like a treat where they took the stakes that are normally in the show, and for one episode, this was like a cigarette smoking man episode of X-Files.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, that was really cool.
That you reminded me, the shtick, the scout trooper shtick. I generally am positive. I think it went on a little bit. They went like a little too far with it, but I like was legitimately laughing and I had a good time with it.
The
so
bit
I'm like,
where they're shooting at the
and they
thing
just can't-
got me so good.
Yeah.
It got me so good.
the crazy like river Styx guy in the gondola like droid was like so cool. I have questions about what happened to the group of the other Mandalorians. I guess some got away, some didn't die. The cool blacksmith was still there, and her little equilibrium scene was like awesome.
I think they said that most of them were killed. I don't know that we have confirmation, but that was supposed to be the armor of the dead one.
I think something was deployed that we can't talk about right now.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know
Davis,
do you know something?
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah,
know
I
something?
do.
It's in Rebels.
Okay. This, I think, probably since the third episode is the highlight of this season.
Was that the first like Navarro episode?
It was him coming back, him dropping off the baby, him having a change of
all
heart
the
with
Mandos
ball.
showing up.
Yeah, that had character moments, it had world building, and it had just wonderful... This is what I consider to be kind of fan service. Like, a bunch of Mandos going ham in live action is more fan service to me than Lando in Rise of Skywalker wearing his shirt from 50 years ago in his timeline. Or like a medal. This episode had so much of like world building, some good character stuff, a little bit too much shtick there, and then the action, like with the TIE fighter and the jetpack, even though like I knew that was eventually going to come because some of it was in the trailer.
The trailer?
It just felt
Yeah.
big. It felt like bigger than a show. It was really cool. The Darksaber reveal was awesome. So it just it's really cool.
Honestly, I loved every episode of The Mandalorian so much. The only two that I really think are definitely not my favorite ones are the one with the shrimp and the one with the egg. And that's just based on just the way that the tone of each of those episodes hit me.
Interesting.
I was least compelled by the fish one, by the Spotchka one, and I was least compelled by the wagon train one, though I did appreciate them both. I felt like some of the other ones were like I don't know.
I really like those episodes because we talked about the samurai jackness of it. For me, those are the episodes that told me that like they know what they're gonna do. The show is gonna be this like adventure thing, and sometimes they don't have to follow a traditional format like an act structure in the same way. Like they can just do whatever. And so I really like that. And then the fourth episode I just really liked because I love to get glimpses of the universe, how people live in Star Wars and other places. And
was that the shrimp one?
Yeah, so their culture to me was interesting enough to kind of make up for some of the slightly weaker elements, like the rushed character development, because
the townspeople stuff. Yeah,
they fit a whole movie into 40 minutes. Like, you know, so some stuff is
it's the 20 minutes thing. Yeah,
and they somehow made the joke of the like ground infantry mobile line like scary. Like I actually was like scared of the ATST.
That's one of the things that this show does fantastic is it proves, I think it's a proof of concept, that Star Wars doesn't need to be a galactic scale battles and Death Stars, and Star Wars in itself is telling a story in this galaxy far, far away, but everything we saw for the first time in ATST was threatening. And you're like, oh my god, I see why the Empire would use this. Or you saw one TIE fighter, usually a throwaway ship, actually do a thing and be threatening to people. You saw all these moments where, oh my god, this is what the average Joe who isn't a Jedi in Star Wars deals with.
It removes the possibility that a superhero will come and show up, yeah. Do we want to talk about rumors? Do we want to talk about the future?
Sure, I'd love to. What is coming up in the world of Mando?
There is, like, do we want to talk about, like, set photos?
They're already shooting the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming out this year. God, the other thing that I know still has not come to pass.
I hope it doesn't.
You know, yeah. I thought you said it was going to happen by the end.
Well, I know that it 100% happens in season 2. I was waiting for it to happen in season... I thought that they were going to...
like, get to it.
Tease.
It's very light stuff. One of the things is burnt trees, okay? So...
just like Mustafar, like that scene from Rise of Skywalker.
So that is the actual rumor, is that we're going to see... that, you know, the guide for Rise of Skywalker goes out of the way to talk about this, like, Vader cult that planted all these trees called the Alazmec.
Oh, that's good. Look at them. They're giving back.
Yeah, so they go out of the way to, like, talk about this story about them and how they did that, and that's who's getting bodied by Kylo Ren at the beginning.
Is it because Luke snooched all their force trees in the beginning? They had to, like, start
Actually,
over?
I think it has to tie. I think it ties in more directly
with Aftermath.
With with the Vader comic too, the one that takes place right after Revenge of the Sith. It gets into like the reasoning and like story of his construction of the citadel that he builds on Mustafar eventually. I think it could tie into that a little bit. But like, I don't know why they would be going to Mustafar. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they should go to Mustafar. Other than that, there is a, in the comics, it is revealed that Mustafar is like got like a darkness to it.
Right, but then why would the Mandalorian go there?
I don't know. Now, another thing I wanted to bring up that's like a rumor, because other than the Mustafar thing, I don't know what it could be. I know there is some Force stuff there. I kind of hope that the Baby Yoda story is just that, like, there's a specific story that they're going to tell, and it involves a species that, like, uses the Force. But I hope it's not about the mythology of the Jedi. You know what I mean? I can't see this story being that, but maybe it is. I don't know. But that would kind of feel like a betrayal of the point of this show to me at this point.
It would be kind of cool too if they keep it vague, is what you're like. If we don't go,
I know,
let's not like blow open the lid. And usually I want a lot of reasoning on stuff, but I'm like,
yeah,
I think with the Yoda stuff, I want to know more about what they want to use it for than like Yoda's race, because it works better mystical.
I mean, I would like to know about Yoda's race if it has nothing to do with the destiny of the galaxy.
I already don't like the implication that he just has a longer lifespan. Like, he's not 900 years old because of a Force connection or something special. It's literally because his species just develops really slow.
That's true, though. I mean, like, that is already true.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, Yaddle's just as old as...
We had no idea. But we had no idea that at 50 years of age, they were still babies.
Oh, that's true, but that's exactly what I mean. I don't really care about that as long as it's not like this Yoda, like somehow like there's somebody called Rey who's coming. Like I just really don't want anything like that to happen.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
I mean?
and I was so happy that it didn't tie into Rise of Sky. I was so scared. I was so scared.
And actually, I mean, it was gonna be like directly the Emperor's clone or some shit.
It's what they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it sucks because like the first half of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is such filler, and it's why it got like a really bad reputation right off the bat. But they lined it up with the Winter Soldier. So the moment that Hydra gets revealed, the show then becomes, actually we're just doing Winter Soldier stuff, and you're finding out Hydra stuff, and it becomes so much better. And I was worried that because they so specifically had the episode 7 happen the day before Rise of Skywalker, then 8 after, I was like, okay, they're looking for magical Force stuff, like it's gonna tie in, and I was very happy that it didn't.
There was Force healing.
Yeah.
I think it was just more like a stealing the thunder type thing, so they could get more eyes on both, because people don't want to watch 2 Star Wars things in one day. Another thing people are talking about is people think that the show is trying to tell us that Baby Yoda is specifically not a clone, and that comes from
what?
Dude.
No, but what is that?
Like, what I'm saying is, rather than him being a already cloned baby, it's more likely that they were just trying to get something from this unique creature who is not a clone of Yoda.
Oh,
I thought we always assumed that.
Quill says something along the lines of like, I don't think it was engineered. I've worked in the gene farms. This one is evolved. And to me, that's him being like, no, this is its own character. And Jon Favreau has gone on to say, and I think Taika Waititi also said that Baby Yoda does have a name, and it's not Baby Yoda.
Right. It's
like he has like a name. What do you think the over-under is on tiny Yoda ears Mandalorian armor?
Hopefully 0%. 0%.
What do you think about they're gonna give him some type of armor that doesn't look like Boba Fett armor, that has the little
0%?
That has the little sigil on it?
No,
something
0%.
Right? That's his.
No,
that's his little crate, right? That's his little.
No, I can't allow this. Little Yoda in armor, 50-year-old Baby Yoda in armor would be the dumbest.
How about on the
thing.
outside of his crib?
If he like put a little thing on his crib,
like 2 guns,
like an armor.
Oh God.
Like a little armor crib?
Like this rolling up on dudes like pew 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 pew. No. The whole point is that he's a baby, and that when he needs to, he breaks out the Force.
He's 50 years old. Don't patronize him.
He's a baby. He's a Yoda baby, and the whole idea is that you're supposed to protect this kid, and then at the last minute he's like, "Don't worry, Dad, I'll protect you." That's the whole point of the damn show. You can't wolf cub this and be. Oh, by the way, the Cub has twin ion engines now. He flies in a mini TIE fighter, and that's how you're gonna.
Oh, if he got his own little like a snub fighter that popped out that was like a smaller version.
TIE fighter.
Oh my God.
I hate this.
Yeah,
it sucks.
They call it little raviolia. One last thing I want to talk about. So we talked, I think, last episode, I don't know what order these are coming out in. We talked about Project Luminous briefly, didn't we?
Yes.
The
This is like the new initiative, like
the new phase.
Just move out of this era.
Well, we don't know what the fuck it means, actually.
I hope it
all they say in the promo is like, the Force controls everything until Project Luminosity or whatever, Project Luminous or whatever. And there's heavy speculation that there's something called the High Republic, according to leaks, and that it's set like a couple hundred years.
The potential new trilogy is what you're saying.
No, just like a entire media
New like setting, like a campaign
like a new
setting.
time
Like,
period in
we're
Star
all-
Wars.
And I really hope this is true. I hope we just like move out and we lay new Star Wars foundation.
So the thing that people noticed about that time frame, right, is that Yoda would still be alive.
Yes.
And which, say what you will, I love Yoda as a character. I think that the EU, he is one of the characters he's one of the few characters who's better in the new canon than in the old canon, at least according to me. I think
that we can say is he was misused in the prequels.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But yeah, I just think like he didn't get to be as interesting as he now is. You got to read the 5th trade of the comic. Oh my God, it's so good. But because Yoda's there's a connection here, maybe, and that season 2 of The Mandalorian could maybe reference some Yoda history or some Yoda planet history or somehow tie back to that. And lately, there's been a development in this, which is that in the Rise of Kylo Ren comic, there is an offhand reference to a time period called the High Republic. And that just came out on Wednesday. So that was actually released, I think, after we talked about it. So there has now been official mention of some time period, though it has not been confirmed exactly when it is, that is now referred to as the High Republic. So I think it's likely that if that's really what that is, if it's really going to be like, how Marvel is like all centered around the Infinity Gauntlet, if the High Republic is going to be kind of like the topic of discussion for all the Star Wars stuff, I could see it. I can see it all happening. I could see it connecting to the Mandalorian in that way. And same thing with the Mandalorians and the Darksaber. You know what I mean?
As long as we get a reasonable explanation that doesn't lead to midichlorians about why they're using machinery on a Force being, right? Because that's kind of what's happening is they're trying to leech the Force. They're trying to get something from the Force. There's a reason why Baby Yoda is important to the dudes from Camino, to the Empire, to Gideon. There's something that matters there. And I think it'd be great if the reveal over time in this series that goes on for who knows how many years is like, oh, if it is High Republic related, then it has something to do with like a weird technology that existed then, or it's the setup for a weird technology from then.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities that some consider to be unnatural. So you never know.
Sure. You know what would be effing, because it's only 400, 500 years, right?
Yeah.
If they pulled the greatest coup in the history of storytelling and was just like, oh yeah, we're going to tell you a new story about all these new characters, and then the big, oh no, I'm about to ruin a new thing. I'm sorry, everyone. At the very, very end, the hero of this new arc, this new adventure into 500 years in the past.
Did you just lament predicting another dumb thing Star Wars is going to do?
I'm about to, yes.
All right.
What if at the very end, it's revealed our hero is like, I've got to go, and I've stopped this evil, but I've learned so much along the way. I've got to go into hiding. I'll take the name Palpatine.
No!
It's revealed that the guy we thought was good the entire time is like pure evil. And that would upset me so much. And he's like, I've learned so much from my master. You're like, what?
Oh my God. Don't do that.
Dude, at least we didn't get the
Why do you even say that shit?
At least we didn't get the let me see with my own eyes thing. That was
close.
Was the worst
it was
one.
So close.
We got the last order.
So...
We got the final order. We got the like Lando as the father of Janna. We got some bad ones, but man, that was still the worst.
Why is it things we predicted as like what a terrible thing this would be if it happened all happened? It shouldn't be that way.
Because it's really easy to predict bad storytelling.
I predicted Rey Palpatine in The Force Awakens post-watch.
It makes me it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting that that's the case.
It's okay. Ugh. It's okay, guys.
But the future looks bright. Luminous, if you will.
Yeah.
When they choose to go with the worst ideas, it then gives anybody's predictions are now anything goes. Like, it's so crazy they brought Palpatine back. So now any of your dumb ideas are as valid as anything else.
Here's the thing. I'm not a believer in bad ideas. It's just that the way that they do it needs to be earned. Like, BT and 000 are stupid. They're a dumbass idea, right? They are one of the few mentions of the Old Republic that exists in the current canon, actually. Because technically, 000 is from the Old Republic,
even though he looks just like a modern day.
No. So
3PO?
000 is a matrix that's like a programming matrix for protocol droids that Afra put into the body that he currently has. He's from the Old Republic. He was designed as a weapon. It's a dumb thing, but in the context of the story that it's in, it works for me. What's going on, Jesse?
When was the first mention of 000? I can't tell if
Darth Vader?
But I mean, like, what?
2015.
So just
20
years ago, and it might have been 2015. And maybe I'm a crazy person and based my character. I made a protocol droid in a Star Wars like role playing game. Except his whole thing was he wasn't a protocol droid.
Oh, the one where you betrayed everyone?
I mean, no. I don't remember I betrayed a lot of people in my games. But he was a protocol droid that inside of him had the programming of like a world killing like machine. And he was like, the whole point is he was trapped inside this like protocol droid's body, and so he just hated everything and everyone because he was incapable of doing anything. But he was always like ready to destroy everyone at every moment's notice. And it sounds very similar. And now I feel like
you invented 000.
Dreamed it into existence.
That's how I feel about a lot of things, man. That's how I feel about a lot of things.
What the hell?
Yeah, in terms of speculation, I think we're getting an idea of how it's going to look going forward.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some big crazy ideas to get into Star Wars that like don't negate entire decades of my movie watching career. I'm ready for
Amen.
It's starting to happen, and there's a lot of stuff that's already out there. So please, guys, let's just keep doing this. I think we're all in. I think it's safe to say that this podcast is like back at this point, right? Like, we're back. We have earned your trust again, dear readers. I feel like
listeners.
Yeah. Well, ostensibly you're reading, unless you're like you guys who just listen to the books, but whatever. Like, I'm just saying, like, ostensibly people are here, we're here. So I'm just excited to read all this weird shit. And the more that I read, honestly, like, I do get a bigger picture of the universe at large, which I didn't think I was ever going to find, but it's coming. And, I'm really excited. So,
yeah.
Again, Master and Apprentice, the novel.
That'll probably be our next one, right?
That'll probably be the next one.
I'm so excited to talk about that one.
And then Rebel Season 4.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
And then what else?
Dooku.
Dooku Jedi Lost, the audio drama, which has now also been released as a book. Of all the ones that I think that you should read, I think you should listen to Dooku Jedi Lost. Because
I was about to say, but audio drama.
It's a full cast, 6-hour long audio drama.
Yeah.
Like, you should listen to that because that's why it was written that way.
I'm so excited. I just need to find a time to do it.
Yeah, I'm like getting to the end of the book, and I bought the audio drama. I drive for like 2 hours every day, so I'm gonna smash it. But I'm just like, I can't wait to finish the book because I want to learn more about Dooku. It's like really interesting. All right, get us out of here.
So remember.
All right.
Oh no, you go first, I guess. You do your. Whatever.
No, you go. You got the
Close
thing.
it out, baby.
Keep your friends close, and let your reprogrammed droids take your helmet off so they can heal your concussion.
Yeah, back to spray.
Was it a concussion? Shut up. All right, we're moving on.
Or you can keep your friends closer and let your like weird Frankenstein droids gondola you through like a lava.
Kira Cynthia
too.
Dune. Goodbye, everybody.
Where's the payoff?
Bring the strippers and booze.
We do occasionally talk about video games.
Bring the strippers and booze.
Not enough time for video games.
Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
It's a production of broadcast.
Yeah, now sing music.
It's a production of broadcast.
Bring the strippers and booze.
It's a production of broadcast.
I'm here to ask and answer one simple question.
It's a production of